Hey everyone, I'm Steve and welcome to the Agile Lean Gardener, and this is your Agile thought for the day. Agile advocates maintaining simplicity, but how do we do that with complex problems? Now, maintaining simplicity is perhaps the least understood of all the Agile principles. Without focusing on this, it's likely that you're working on the wrong thing. So let's talk about it. Maintaining simplicity is really about maximizing the amount of work we don't do. It's about focusing on delivering the right value and outcomes to our customers. Now, have you heard of the Pareto Principle? Vilfredo di Pareto, he was an Italian sociologist and economist who, during his studies, realized that, in general, 80% of a nation's income was in the hands of only 20% of the population. Now, you might know this as the 80-20 rule. It basically states that approximately 80% of the outcomes or outputs comes from approximately 20% of the causes or inputs. Now, a good example of this is Microsoft Word. Around 20% of Word's features account for around 80% of the benefit. Other examples are 20% of criminals commit 80% of crimes and 20% of drivers cause 80% of all traffic accidents. Now, the figures of 20% and 80% are of course not exact. It's approximately 20% and approximately 80%. So the idea is to find and focus on that 20%. Now, it doesn't mean that the other 80% isn't important, just not as important as the other 20%. And we can start by building better and deeper relationships with our stakeholders and customers to uncover why they want or need something. And when we understand why something is important, it makes it easier to ask the right questions and discover new, possibly better solutions. Peter F. Drucker contended that the most serious mistakes are not being made as a result of the wrong answers. The truly dangerous thing is asking the wrong questions. So, when we're asked to build something, don't assume that what's being asked for is the right thing. We first need to understand why something is needed and continue conversations until a mutually agreed understanding and consensus is achieved. And we also need to understand the end-to-end journey of the work we need to deliver and break it down. Now, Jeff Patton's book, User Story Mapping, is a great read on this. And maintaining simplicity means communication and collaboration. So why is that? Well, because we can only get to simplicity by removing unknowns, erroneous activity, and waste reduction. Now, simplicity is an investment in time, and at first it might seem like a lot of work, but the investment more than pays off as long as we all have maintaining simplicity as a shared goal. Now, it can often mean approaching your work in a new and different way. Now, simplifying your process might mean sacrificing formal structures, so perhaps consider having it as part of your team working agreement. If you haven't got one, then create one. They're just a short list of things that the team all agrees on, around things like communication, collaboration, and decision-making. They are great for bringing teams closer together, building culture, psychological safety, transparency, and trust, all of which you need in order to find the simplest way forward together. Let me know if you'd like to hear more about team purposes and working agreements in the comments below. Now, it can also mean spending more time with your clients and customers, as it cuts out the middleman, where requirements can get lost in translation, and you can both make faster decisions, reducing decision latency. And take a cue from Einstein when he said, "Make everything as simple as possible, but no simpler." Meaning, make things simple, but don't take so much out of your product or service that it no longer works. Now, Occam's razor is a mental model for problem solving. It states that among competing hypotheses, the one with the fewest assumptions should be selected. It favors simplicity over complexity until disproven. Now, have you ever thought about the true cost of a Scrum Master? Well, check this video out, as you might be surprised. Now, as always, please like and subscribe if you've got any value from this, and follow me on LinkedIn. There's a follow me link in the description below. Okay, that is it for this one. Have a wonderful day, stay safe, stay humble, and I will see you next Thursday for another Agile Thought.